evening, everyone, depending on where you are in the world. It's Wednesday today, and we are back for yet another confidence convo. This is episode 11, where we discuss all things confidence, and we will be live streaming and recording bi-weekly on Wednesdays on Facebook, YouTube, and your favorite podcast streaming platform. This week, we're diving into the relationship between confidence and success. So before we get started, I'd love to introduce myself. I am Davina Maria, and I am a master coach and founder of the Restore Yourself Method and host of Worthy Women Facebook group. And I help female go-getters in their 30s develop unshakable confidence so they can powerfully step into their limitless potential. Over to you, Joanna.
Hello, everybody. Hi, Davina. My name is Joanna. I'm a registered psychotherapist and I'm a confidence coach and the founder of the Confidence Formula. I work with young adults who are high achieving to become more confident so they can become more successful. Davina and I got together to create this for you because we strongly believe in the power of learning from one another, and we thought this would be a great idea.
And just to clarify, we are not perfect at being confident all of the time. Like you, we move through our struggles and overcome obstacles and mindsets to continuously improve. So just think of us as guides by side.
Totally. So this week we wanted to talk about a topic that's really near and dear to our hearts, and the topic is success. And I think about this all the time. And I know when I ask my clients what success means to them, it always comes back to two major factors: money and marriage. And once you have money and once you have marriage, then you have property and children, and then I'm successful. Right?
Wow.
And I think that that's a really great way to think about success, setting your targets and your goals and your aims towards certain areas and aspects of your life. And I also think that it could be kind of problematic as well.
That's very interesting.
Yeah. So what do you think? What do you think about that definition of success?
So it's really interesting that your clients sort of go for money and marriage. A lot of my clients go for careers or, dream jobs or dream companies that they'd like to work for, or job titles. If someone wants to be a director by the time they're 35, that's normally something that I get a lot of, and that's what makes a lot of my clients feel successful. Personally, I don't know that there's a right or wrong. I feel like we all define success very differently, and I think for some people success is based on what they most desire in life. And I think if you most desire to be married with children, then of course, when that happens for you, you will feel successful because you've got what you've most desired.
So why do you think that these clients want that job title or job rank or to advance in their careers?
I think it's different for everybody. And I think this is why success can be such like a huge topic. For a lot of my clients, I think it comes from conditioning to a certain degree. I think sometimes as young women, we're conditioned to be doers, and you are validated when you do something that is deemed praiseworthy or that is an achievement. So I think for a lot of my clients growing up, they were always praised when they got really good grades at school, or when they, I don't know, got into like a really good school, or they did well at a piano kind of grading, or whatever it is. And I feel like sometimes we kind of take that from childhood and take it into our adult life, and then we continue to stretch ourselves for the things that will bring us the most validation, the achievements. And for me, I feel like success is an achievement or achievements, things that you can kind of mark in your life that I've achieved this, I've achieved this, and I've achieved this, and so I'm successful.
Yeah. Looking up the definition of success, it was an accomplishment of an aim or purpose. And so what I think is really interesting about this idea of success is it's kind of always something that's outside of ourselves, something that we're always like wanting to achieve that doesn't exist in our life today, now in the present. And I think that there's an analogy that I can think of that really reflects what success kind of is to us. And it's this idea of if we are roaming in the desert, trying to reach the horizon, and horizon would be that feeling of success, and that the closer that we get to the horizon then shifts and it moves a little bit further in the distance. And so there's always this feeling of lack or this gap from where we are to this idea of success. And I think there's a lot of great that can come from that, of course, motivating us to work harder and to do more. And there's a lot of other feelings that come around when we think about, you know, how much farther we still have to go, and this feeling of not being successful yet, and what that brings up for ourselves and our clients.
That is so interesting, because I feel like when I say the word success, or when I hear the word success, I think of something that's very positive. And you mentioned the word accomplishment. I think of sort of like feeling accomplished, feeling proud, feeling like I've achieved something, like I've done something. So it's really interesting that what you said about it coming from a place of lack, because it's almost like a paradox, isn't it? Because it's this amazing thing that everyone strives for, but it comes from a place of lack. I find that so interesting. And you mentioned as well the horizon, and I love that analogy, because I feel like so many people live in that way. You know, they're very much like, when I get married, then I'll do whatever it is, or then I'll feel a certain way. When I have children, then I'll feel a certain way. When I get that job, I'll feel a certain way. When I you know, sometimes it's even, you know, smaller kind of life goals. When I lose the weight, I'll feel a certain way, or all of that. And you're right, there is always something to strive for, and the horizon keeps moving. And I feel like perhaps we're always in the space in between. We're kind of like, we're here, the horizon is here, but we're always kind of somewhere in between that kind of time frame, I guess you can call it. So we never actually get to the horizon. And I know we spoke about this in a previous episode about anxiety and sort of being behind your future self. And I feel like it's the same thing. You're striving for this horizon. You might never actually get to it because it keeps moving, and you're always in the in-between space. I don't know if that makes sense.
It does. So then how do we, or how could we measure success if it's not at looking into the future of our future self and feeling in that lack?
For me, I think mindfulness comes up. And I think personally, my definition of success is feeling proud of myself. And it doesn't matter what I feel proud of myself for. It might be something really small, like, you know, I didn't react when someone said something to me, and I feel like, oh, I'm so proud I didn't react. Or I might compliment someone that I perhaps wouldn't normally compliment, and again, I think, oh, I'm so proud that I was able to, you know, say something lovely about that person to them. So I think for me, my definition of success is always thinking about being proud of me day to day. And I think mindfulness for me comes up because if you're always striving for something outside of you that you may or may not achieve, one of the questions that comes up for me is, when do you draw the line? When do you start to enjoy the journey? When do you relax into balance of, I'm going to strive a little bit and then I'm going to rest a little bit, and I'm going to strive a little bit and I'm going to rest a little bit. So yeah, I think for me, being in the in-between space is all about just enjoying the in-between space. And there's nothing wrong with having goals and striving towards whatever you want by whatever date. But I think it's so key to enjoy the journey.
Yeah.
How would you deal with being in the in-between? So I mean, we're always in the in-between space, but how would you deal with it?
Yeah. So two things come up when I think about that. And the first one is setting small goals for yourself that are actually, this is kind of links both of them, setting small goals for yourself that are actually manageable and easy to attain, and then looking back and actually realizing that you have achieved that goal.
Yes.
So the first part is setting small goals for yourself. The second part is actually looking backwards and saying, have I actually attained that that goal that I set for myself? And I think that's how I like to live in the in-between, because if I look forward and realize all the things that I don't yet have, and this goes on indefinitely, like even when you are making a certain amount of money or have a certain amount of properties or you're in a relationship, right? There's always like, I could be making more money, I could be having more properties, I could be owning a boat right now, like whatever it is. So there's always, you know, more to come in the future. But the way that I measure success, at least, is to look at, where was I 3 months ago, 6 months ago, a year ago, and measuring the progress that I've made since then. And that helps me in my in-between.
That is, I love that, because I feel like we're kind of aligned in how we would deal with the in-between space, because I think part of enjoying the journey is very much kind of looking at progress. And
sorry, your connection just cut out for a second. Can you say that again?
Oh God, did I freeze? Yeah, I was saying, I feel like we're kind of aligned in what we're saying about being in the in-between space, because, you know, part of like enjoying your journey, I think, is looking at your progress, looking at how far you've come, celebrating, you know, things that are even small, maybe small to other people, but are huge to us, celebrating those little things. And I love how you said setting smaller goals, because then you're more likely to achieve them, which means you will celebrate, which means you'll enjoy the journey, and you're in the moment. You're not, you know, 10 years in the future and thinking about everything that you don't have. Yeah, absolutely love it.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah. And then just to bring it back to what we do, which is confidence, with respect to success, then, like, what comes first? Confidence or success? Will I feel confident and then become successful, or do I need to be successful in order to feel confident? What do you think?
Do you know what? We had this question. I think we had this question in the authenticity episode, and I think my answer is going to be the same. I feel like your confidence comes first. And I think it could be a chicken and egg situation, but I feel like your confidence comes first, because if we define confidence as trust in yourself, trust in your capabilities, trust that you'll be okay regardless of what happens, trust that you can make the right decisions, and, you know, trust that if you've made the wrong decision, you can kind of detour and decide something else. If that is how we define confidence, then I feel like that has to come first, because the more confident you are, the more risks you'll take, the more perseverance you might have, the more clear communication you will be able to have, which will then result in the success. How do you what do you think about that?
Yeah, I agree with you, and something that from my personal life that I can share. Like, building a psychotherapy private practice isn't the easiest thing in the world. There's lots of therapists out there. There's lots of competition, I would say. And something that someone recently said to me was, you know, they asked me how my journey went. And at the beginning, it was slow, but then it got better. And how did it get better? It got better because I got more confident, right, in my skills. And during my consultations, I know what I'm talking about, and I sound confident meeting with these people for the first time, who then have some sort of a trust in me. So it was my confidence that actually came first to lead me to my professional success that I now have achieved, right? So I think definitely confidence comes first, and then success follows. Because if you don't at least sound like you know what you're talking about, or give a feeling that other people can believe and trust in you, no matter what your profession is, then success and, you know, advancing in your career is going to be really hard to do. So I think the confidence in yourself definitely comes first.
Yeah, I totally agree. And it sounds like, well, I mean, we both know the answer to this, but it sounds like confidence is kind of like the foundation to everything.
I love that.
Yeah, I feel like, we're 11 episodes in, and we've been talking about confidence for many, many weeks. And yeah, the more we go through all the topics that we've chosen to talk about, I feel like confidence is almost like the building block that starts everything off. And the more confident you are, the more sort of diverse your kind of range of everything becomes, your emotional range, your intellectual range, your mental range, your spiritual, like everything just becomes broader as your confidence grows. And the one thing I kind of wanted to say is that I know sometimes we talk about this like it's so easy, we talk about it like, oh, you can just be confident and then you'll be successful and everything will be fine and you can just get everything and smash your goals. But I kind of wanted to just mention as well that this is a journey. And, if there's levels of confidence, and I don't believe that you can become 100% confident. I feel like it's a constant learning and a constant journey. And as you go through life, more and more things come along and stretch you. And as those things stretch you, they kind of build your capacity to be more confident. So you're always kind of going up a level. And I know we've spoken about comparison and things like that. And I feel like it's key to kind of meet yourself where you are. Whatever level you're on with your confidence is 100% okay. You're meant to be there. And then as you stretch and grow, you kind of take it a step at a time. And it might actually not be easy. I don't know if you can comment on whether it's easy or not, but yeah, I certainly don't think it's easy all the time.
Totally. I love this idea of like levels, because I know inside the confidence formula, it's a repeatable approach. And I say that very early on. You can go through this methodology over and over again, depending on which area of your life you're working on or which goal you're trying to attain, and how you want confidence to really be reflected in your life. So it's not just like, I'm going to be confident one day and then this, the journey stops and I'll be successful and that's the end of the road. Like it really is, different levels of confidence and success that you achieve as you go on. And what comes to mind also when you said that was this idea that, the people that we see who are confident out there, they weren't born that way. You're not just born confident walking around the street, like knowing, everything that and behaving in the way that you do. They learn it through a specific set of skills and mindset shifts and beliefs. And, that's exactly what we teach inside of our programs, respectively. Yeah. And so, just because you see other people being confident and feeling like you're not, they learned it. They learned it over time with patience and practice, and you can learn it just the same.
100%. And I'm glad you mentioned our programs. I feel like we haven't spoken about them very much. I completely agree with you. Both of our programs are, the way that I like to think about it is like it's a toolbox. We're giving you tools that you can use for the rest of your life. You can come back to those tools whenever you need them. You can revisit them. And, sometimes I kind of practice what I preach. I have, kind of paid for many, many different courses that I do read. And sometimes you do something a third or fourth time and you get a completely different level of insight from it. And you think, oh my goodness, I didn't get that before. So, both of our programs are kind of geared to do exactly that, to give you the tools that you need to use in these situations to feel more confident and, and then feel more successful and so on. So, yeah, I think it's all about the tools that you have in your toolbox, and on any given day, you can then choose which tool you need, and you kind of go through life, well, like a builder, really, with a little toolkit.
Love that.
Yeah, but yeah, I feel really interested in this topic, and I feel like success is a big thing. And I know I probably say every week, but we could probably go on and on and on about success and how kind of confidence and success kind of merge together. And it has been so great chatting with you as always. I absolutely love our confidence convos, and I always take something away with me. So we will have more on this topic in 2 weeks' time. And for more information on who we are, what we do, and our love of all things confidence and self-development, you can find or follow us from our social media information, which will be posted below in the comments. And if you've liked what you've heard, feel free to like, share, or subscribe. And we will definitely see you in 2 weeks' time.
See you soon. Bye.